Viewers and subscribers, please subscribe to Saga News TV and give a like and share.
We had a murder last Friday along King Street. The man who was killed, from all our intelligence, is a member of the Taliban gang. And it was believed that the murder was carried out by a breakaway faction of the Taliban gang. A dispute that has been going on for over 2 years, resulting in the loss of several lives. So the incident last night, we think, from all the indications, that they came to reprise, men from the Taliban gang came to reprise that killing. Sometime after 1 o'clock, we had a team of officers in that location. It was after 1. Because of that particular murder last week, we were preparing ourselves for problems. And so in a bid to prevent violence, they were in this space. Whilst in the space, they heard gunfire and went to check. It was during that process that they were fired on by several gunmen along Orange Street. They took action in a bid to protect themselves, return the fire, and the men ran in several directions. Shortly after, a white ISIS drove out of a nearby empty lot with men aboard who opened fire at the police. The police returned the fire and pursued the men in a moving gun battle. The gunmen subsequently drove onto King Street, where the vehicle crashed in the vicinity of Charles Street. The men, numbering about 6, alighted from the vehicle and continued firing at the police, who returned fire. At the end of the exchange, 3 men were found suffering from gunshot wounds, all clutching firearms. The other men ran towards Orange Street. The vehicle was searched and 2 rifles were seized from the vehicle, with the assistance of other police.
Commanding Officer for the Kingston Central Police Division, Superintendent Beresford Williams, has expressed the belief that the 4 men who were fatally shot during a reported confrontation with the police in Kingston on Wednesday morning were on a reprisal mission in relation to the murder that occurred last Friday. 5 guns, 3 9mm pistol, 2 M16 rifles were recovered after the shooting. The men who were fatally shot by the police during a reported gun battle along Orange Street in downtown Kingston have been identified. The car in which the now deceased man were traveling in downtown Kingston on Wednesday morning. They are 17 years old Daniel Rose of Mark Lane, Romain Lewis, otherwise called Bones, of Sergeant Drive, Kingston 2, 19 years old Steve Rochester, a carpenter, of Love Lane, and 44 years old Garnet Jackson, of Garden Trace, New Evans, Kingston 20, all in the Carport area. In the interview, Williams outlined the basis for the police and update on the reports of the dramatic incident that unfolded early on Wednesday morning. The body of a man was discovered in a shallow grave at Content Road in Fraser Content, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Wednesday morning. The body is believed to be that of 33 years old Kevon Anderson, a security officer from Rosewood Drive in Fraser Content. Anderson reportedly went missing on Wednesday, May 1, 2024. Residents reportedly stumbled upon the body in a shallow grave approximately 11:30 a.m. and notified the police. Following initial investigation, family members identified clothing seen in the grave as belongs to the missing man. Investigation continuing. 1 man was shot dead while another injured during an attack at Batam Banbury in Lindsay, St. Catherine on Wednesday night. The dead man has only been identified as Recall Hunter, a resident of the said community. Report reaching news indicated that around 7 p.m. both men were standing at Hunter's Gate when several gunshots were fired from bushes nearby. Hunter, the police said, was hit in the right side of the neck, chest and leg, while the other man received gunshots to both legs. A police patrol arrived on the scene and assisted the men to the hospital, where Hunter was pronounced dead. On arrival, the injured man was admitted in stable condition. No motive has been established for the attack, the police said. The Linstead police are probing their second murder in less than 24 hours. After a man was shot dead in the rural town on Thursday morning, the deceased has been identified as Uriah Bailey, a butcher from Victoria District, have been shot dead at a slaughterhouse where he worked on 4th Street, both in Linstead, St. Catherine. Reports are that around 11:50 a.m., Bailey and 2 other men were at the slaughterhouse, preparing to sell soup in the Linstead town centre. During that time, a man entered the yard and opened gunfire at Bailey, hitting him in the head and upper body. As a result of this, the police were summoned. On arrival, police saw Bailey's body lying on his right side, clad in a black and white t-shirt, black shorts and a pair of black slippers, with what appeared to be gunshot wound to the head and upper body. Residents told the news that they believe both shooting incidents were related, pointing out that Thursday morning murder was a reprisal for Wednesday night killing. Efforts to get confirmation of the resident claim from the police have so far proven futile. The Independent Commission of Investigation INDECOM have launched a probe into 3 incidents which resulted in the fatal shooting of 6 men. The incident occurred on May 7 in St. Catherine and May 8 in Kingston and Westmoreland. According to INDECOM, year to date, 50 persons have been shot and killed by the security force, of which 6 occurred in May. The latest incident took place in Kingston, in the vicinity of King and Charles Street, and resulted in 4 persons being killed, and 5 weapons, 3 pistols, an M16 and another rifles reported seized. The police in that matter stated that a team of officers were on patrol when they were fired on by a group of men traveling in a motor vehicle, and a pursuit ensued, which extended across multiple streets. INDECOM in a release said it was also informed that a police officer from another response team was injured by another group of men and is being treated. Another probe was launched regarding a fatal shooting over in Westmoreland. It is reported that officers were on a target operation in the community of Sterling District in Grangehill, searching for prohibited weapons. During the operation, a man reportedly shot at the police, who then fired in return. The 29-year-old Pete Brown was identified as the deceased in this incident. A firearm was reported as retrieved from the incident. The other shooting incident, which occurred on May 7 in the community of Waterford in St. Catherine, resulted in the fatal shooting of 19-year-old on the seizure of a Smith & Wesson revolver. The police reported that upon entering a house, a man who was seen in a room pointed a firearm in their direction, and in return they fired at the man. The man was pronounced dead at hospital.